Om Vasudevasutam Devam Kansachanudamardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. We can say, at least with respect to Hinduism, that whenever we talk about any scripture, whether it is Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads or many scriptures are there, we always talk about the ideal, what it should be. Practical side is where we are, what I am, and there is some ideal. The difference between the ideal and the state of mind of a person, or in a way distance between us and the ideal, is made of two things. One is self-effort, and other, the factors which are not in our hand. So those factors which are not in our hand, we always call it God, grace of God. What we can do is what is within our limits in our efforts. Rest, whether it is nature, whether it is other people, whether it is Guru, whether it is scriptures, whether it is grace of God, these things are not in our hand. What we can do is to put efforts. You can read scriptures, you can take help of others, you can do discussion, you can ask questions to yourself, you can ask questions to people whom you think they know little better than you. And then there is a big factor, which is your maturity. You read the scriptures which tells everything, but still we cannot understand. There could be people who are learned or great people, they give their teachings or sermons or lectures or discourses or whatever. Still if it doesn't enter or you don't understand, what you can do is you put effort. That much we can do. So the importance of self-effort is this. In a way it is said that there is nothing which you cannot achieve by self-effort. In my opinion, it is said, which is a very beautiful Sanskrit term, Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya says, it's called Jnana Nishtha Yogyata Prapti. Eligibility to be fit to receive the knowledge. If the ground is prepared, then you sow the seed, the plant will come. If you throw the seed on a cemented floor, it will dry up or it will die, but plant will not come. So what we can do is to prepare the ground. Self-effort is to prepare the ground. Every farmer does the same thing. You prepare the ground, sow the seed, give water, give manure, arrange sunlight, water, etc. There is no farmer who sow the seed and try to pull the plant out of it. Nobody can do that. In the same way, you can put your effort by making yourself ready. There is another very interesting term. It's called Cheto Mukha. Cheto Mukha term comes in Mandukya Upanishad. It is something, we have a story and legend about a bird called Chataka bird. What it does is only keeps the mouth open so that the water falls in its mouth. Because legend says that this bird doesn't take any other water than that rainwater which falls during the constellation of Swati. This is how in Indian culture all these things are there. So to keep the mouth open, that means to keep our eyes and ears open. From wherever you learn, always being ready to learn is a big thing in anybody's personal spiritual life. Why we cannot learn is mainly because of our ego. Egos could be not that you are always egoistic. There are two words in English. One is called egoism, other one is called egotism. There is one ego which technically means you feel you are so and so. Not I am a great person, not that ego of comparing with somebody that I am better than you, not that ego. Ego is my individuality. My individuality, sense of my individuality, that I am different than these people. That is the ego scripture says to eradicate. In a normal sense of the term, don't be egoistic. Not to be egoistic, not to boast yourself or to be proud of and all that. That is ego in a normal sense. But scripture says ego means your individuality. That is the last covering which is broken by knowledge. That you become one with the universe, one with God, whatever. That why you cannot is because of your sense of individuality. So this ideal where I am, what I want to be. The Maya or the ignorance is that most of the people do not think or they do not want to think whatever great they are in the material world. Could be anything, any big people. But all are in the category of that ignorant people. You may be very knowledgeable about anything worldly, but so far as the self-knowledge is concerned, we all fall into that ignorant group only. So what that you are a rich person, so that you are a handsome, beautiful person, so what that you are very intelligent, so what you are very powerful. All fall into the category of ignorance. Knowledge about self, if it is not there, or in general also, this concept must be discussed when the child grows. In my opinion, at least when child comes into secondary, they are already growing their individuality. They have a choice to do this or that. At that time, this concept must be discussed with the children. Eventually, what you want in your life. Eventually. In 3 steps, your mouth will be shut because you do not know what to answer. Take whatever you do, whatever you are doing, a simple act. I eat. Same question you need to ask 3 times. About whatever you do. What you do? I eat. What is the purpose of your eating? First question. I eat because I want to survive. Second question. What is the purpose of that? What is the purpose of my survival? Why I want to survive? What I want to achieve that I need to live? In the second question itself, most of the people have no answer because they never think about it. We are not trying to be something. We are not belittling anybody. The question is this. If you do one work, you say because I want to achieve something. You do hard work to earn money, for example. Why you want to earn money? Because I want a house, I want to do this, I want to do this. Why you want to do that? Nobody asks same question third time. Scriptures will not have any value if scriptures cannot be practicalized. If things cannot be practicalized, what is the use of scriptures in my life? Just to become a scholar? Just to give a lecture? No. It has to be, have to have some utility in my life. Idea is this. What eventually I want? Few things which we have discussed earlier. All of us have that information, but we are not aware about that information or the meaning of that information. Or that information has not been converted into knowledge. We know all of us will die one day. We know when we die nothing will go with me. We know nobody in the world, whatever loved ones are there, they can't help you to stay a moment more than that. This information all of us have. But this information has not been converted into knowledge. If it is little awareness, if this information creates in your mind, then immediately question will come, then why do I do what I do? If it is meaningless at the end of the day, then why do I do? This question keeps some people thinking from childhood. So we leave everything and try to understand this question. That's why some people become monks and nuns and all. It's not to do social service and all these things are part of my practice. I didn't become monk to give lectures, but it is part of my service. This cannot be the goal of my life. If tomorrow, hopefully not, if tomorrow I die, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, I don't think anything more than 6 months anybody will say, oh, we missed that class. I don't think so. Nobody misses anything in this world. It will be my ego to say that I am so important. No, all these are rubbish. Everything what you do consciously that I do because I want to do it. Not out of any compulsion. Because that's my life. If I want to achieve something, maybe this is helpful to me. Reading scriptures is helpful to me, maybe explaining scripture. Actually, I am helping myself. When I talk, here I am thinking, then only I am talking. So this is an opportunity for me to think, to speak, and if anybody is benefited, is a byproduct. My purpose is to think. So, this question must be asked. What eventually I want in my life? Hinduism is very interesting. Vedanta is very interesting from this point of view. It doesn't tell you to completely change the cycle in which you are. If you are a householder, if you are a family, Hinduism doesn't tell you renounce everything and go. If you feel like renouncing, it's up to you. The disciple asked to the Guru, when should I renounce? So Guru says, when you have a vairagya, you renounce. Nobody can renounce without understanding. You give up something, forget about renunciation. Even if you give up something, simple thing you give up. Why you give up? Either it is harmful to you or it is not useful to you. Why you should give up something, especially that which is good? Our parents, the loving parents, they didn't hit me every day with stick. Not that I was not able to work and earn little money to survive. That was also not a question. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, that book, everything is there. Suddenly you feel something is missing. And in search of that which is missing, you take a big step. Now looking back 40 years when I think, I don't know whether I didn't give a thought so I could do it. Just walk away from your house, keeping mother sleeping, father is meditating, brother, sister going to school or whatever. You just leave. Not even looking back. Oh, I'm not going to come back. That thought itself, what I'm renouncing, that which is not mine, what is the trouble in renouncing? If this belongs to me and if you tell you have to give it up, then I may have pain. But when you have idea in your mind, this doesn't belong to me, so you don't have any pain in renouncing. When that anything which you give up is spontaneous, then it is meaningful. You cannot forcefully do anything. Especially this kind of thing you cannot do forcefully. That's why when any boy wants to join our order, you may not appreciate it, but we discourage you. Why you want to become a monk? Why you want to waste your life? You are so intelligent. You can do so well. If you say, yeah, in that case I can stay back. That's what we want. I remember I was a volunteer in my ashram. So the Swami told me the same thing. Don't waste your life. Actually, I did a mistake by becoming monk. So I was thinking, why do you say so? So I told, if you do a mistake, then leave this monastery. No, I don't want to do the second mistake. It to discourage us. Why discourage? I don't know, you people are, those who are science students. The resistance is very much important. The more resistance you put, the result is better. Yes, I remember one Swami, very loving Swami. That day we remember. He told me, you finish in college, do a good job, earn some money, help us also, donate some money. So I looked at him and said, I would like to receive donation, not give donation. So he understood. So I said, no, I want to be in your side, I don't want to be the other side. So, idea is this, that Sri Ramakrishna gives very clear example. All of us have gone through this, that you have a wound, a cut, then the cut will dry up. And the dry blood or dead skin, it will be very irritating for some time, the last few days. And children will try to remove it. This example Sri Ramakrishna gives and says, if you remove it forcefully, you will find little blood comes out. You don't do anything forcefully, that dead skin or blood clotted, it will fall off by itself. That should be the natural way. You don't force it. In the same way, any kind of renunciation should be mature and spontaneous. Nobody told us, rather, as I told Swami, is discouraged. But one decided, maybe by the grace of God only, but I don't have that vairagya at that age. But some concept became clear in the mind. Of course, you are intelligent and a thinking person. You don't want to put your parents into trouble. So I was reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and before joining I read only 25 to 30 pages. In one place Sri Ramakrishna says, God has taken responsibility of all whom He has created. There was a great king called Shivaji Maharaj. A time came, he was very brave. We don't go, this is not a history class. But at the age of 16, he had already conquered 16 forts. He was so brave. So when he became a king, and he was ruling a huge kingdom, this and that and all that. So it's such a huge success that we cannot even think of. So in corner of his mind an idea came. Now I am somebody. His guru, Samarth Ramdas, he said, come, we go for a walk. Alright. They found quite a big stone on the roadside. Can you turn this stone? Very heavy stone. And he was a brave man. So he turned. Below the stone, which was, there was no hole around. When that stone was turned, there was a small puddle and a small little water. Inside there was a frog. The Guru asked the disciple, who looks after and feeds this frog? He is in your state. Do you think you look after this frog? Shivaji understood that you can do your duty. Rest everything falls in place. There are 1,000 factors. It's not you always. So we started from this, that where you are, first 2 activities need to be undertaken. One is self-introspection and the other is self-assessment. Just to find out where I am. Where I am. Then reading scriptures or hearing, whichever way, you decide the goal. One could be the ultimate goal. One could be the immediate goal. When we left our home, leaving home was immediate goal, was not the ultimate goal, of course. Why it is not ultimate? Because that also has some purpose. Simply leaving home was no goal. Leaving home has a purpose. So that purpose is my next goal. So you always think about the immediate goal, first what I should do. And that's a process, one by one you go. So this distance between your ideal and your present state, that is to be covered by self-effort. Whether you hear lectures, whether you read books, whether you do meditation, whether you do charity, whatever good things you do, is your effort. And that effort will take you from where you are to the goal. The only problem is, you decide an immediate goal. the next goal, which is purpose of this immediate goal, is more difficult to achieve. Somehow you achieve that purpose of that, and the next immediate goal is yet more difficult to achieve. The more you go, the exams are tougher and tougher. Right? Kindergarten children appear for exam maybe. Primary school is tougher than that. Secondary is yet tougher. And college is yet tougher. So people like us will give up. Okay, enough. Diploma is enough. Or maybe degree is enough. Some people are very good. So masters and doctorate. And somebody I didn't know. I'm not very deadline education is not that high. First time I came here and I heard somebody say, I'm doing my postdoc. What is postdoc? I never heard that word. Postdoctorate. Oh, after PhD there is something. I never knew it. It's okay. There are many things we don't know in this world. Nothing to be ashamed of or ignorance. One day I remember here itself, giving lecture, one particular word I attempted 3 times to pronounce. And immediately I told, I'm not ashamed of that because English is not my mother tongue. So it's okay to commit mistakes. These are simple things of life, doesn't bother us. So idea is this, you put your effort. Now sincerity counts. Introspection and assessment you do, so you come to know where you are, where you stand. People many times come and say, I don't know Sanskrit, I have not read scriptures, I want to read but I have this limitation. So we try to guide in different ways. If you are sincere and you have a desire, ways are there, many ways are there to do it. So you accomplish small by small step. Okay, let me read Bhagavad Gita once. At least I will know. I remember one big professor. So he attends my classes for years. But he said, I have never read Bhagavad Gita. He is one of the, in his field he is the top in the world, not top. So many countries joined together decided he is the best. Such kind of professor. He says, I have never read Bhagavad Gita. So you always travel to America, correct, for your lectures and everything. I am going that month. How many hours flight? 14, 16 hours flight. I said, good. 16 into 2, you have 32 hours. Take one Bhagavad Gita book. Just read translation. Simple translation. 700 shlokas. Every shloka 3 lines. Let's come to 2100 lines. And just read. Don't try to understand. Don't try to see what is that. No. Just read like a novel. This I heard and came to know from one of our vice presidents who recently passed away, Swami Samachittananda. Prabhupada used to tell in our class, give a simple reading first. Don't try to study. Bhagavad Gita I want to study. Don't need. Just read. And this gentleman read the whole Bhagavad Gita. And my next class he came and said, at least now I know what is in Bhagavad Gita. I don't understand, but at least I know what is all about. This is effort. This is effort. I do not know. And this putting effort against your mind doesn't want to do this. You go in the flight, most people switch on the movie and watch. Correct? This man read Bhagavad Gita. You go against your nature. Your mind doesn't want to do, you want to do it. So this is the first spiritual goal you achieve, that at least you started understanding me and my mind. My mind is something which I have to train. Believe me, 99% people cannot differentiate between me and my mind. By doing this little tapasya, at least you created this distance between you and your mind. When your mind is sad, you don't become sad because you see, it is my mind who is sad. I am not, I am always happy. And this is a huge, great achievement which people not easily can achieve. That's why a simple spiritual practice. Remember Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato vaya. Swalpam apya. Swalpam api dharma. This practice of spirituality, let it be little. That doesn't mean I do only little. No, you have to do more. Even little you do, with your sincerity it is helpful and takes your mind to the next level. People don't want to undertake that spiritual practice. Any kind of spiritual practice, sincerely must undertake. Those that are initiated, repeat their mantra. Those who are good students, they read the books. Different ways you do spiritual practices. So, here we were discussing this. That Arjuna had this question to Sri Krishna. If a person is an ideal person, or a realized person, or a one who is a perfect yogi, one who is a perfect devotee, one who is a perfect spiritual person, what could be his or her qualities? If you say a teacher, must have some qualities. A police officer must have some qualities. A monk must have some qualities. A devotee must have some quality. So Arjuna's simple question was that if somebody is a realized soul, what will be his or her qualities? So that's what we are discussing last 6-7 lectures. So he told this 2-3 shlokas we already read. Yas sarvatra anabhisneha tattat praptya shubhashubham na abhinandati na dveshti tasya prajna pratishti. Ya sarvatra anabhisneha. All of you understand the word sneha? What is sneha? Love, affection. Sneha has other meaning. You know, the oil, any kind of oil is called sneha. Why it is? Love is something which makes the relationship smoother. No quarrel, no fighting, because you love that person. When there is a machine, people put oil so that friction is minimized. So sneha is the same meaning. That feeling, that emotion which makes the relation smoother. So love and oil, somehow the purpose is the same, that it reduces this friction. Anabhisneha, here sneha is not and you love whom? Generally people love with whom you are attached. And this is a big secret. A spiritual person retains love but gives up attachment. Initially, love and attachment is same. People cannot differentiate between love and attachment. If you love, must be attached. If I am attachment, must be love. Slowly, when you study that emotion, then you will find no. Attachment can be there without love. If you hate somebody, you are negatively attached to that person. You always think about it. That's how Ravana, being a devotee of God, took that role. That I want to hate Rama so that I can be closer to him faster. There is another way of looking at the stories. So your hating someone is a negative attachment because you always be attached. You always think about him or her. If you love someone also, you think about him or her. So love is something. Love is not hatred. But attachment could be because of love or because of hatred. So slowly, when you do spiritual practice, this is one thing which slowly people start realizing. Love is very divine, was never condemned anywhere. What is condemned is attachment. Because attachment will give you pain. Whenever, whatever you call love, when it results into misery, think it was not love, it was attachment. If you really love someone, what you want? Not that you want from that person, but you want that person to always be free from misery. You want happiness of that person because you love them. You go to Himalayas, oh I love Himalayas, what do you do with that? You take Himalaya, put in your pocket and you can't do that. You love because the greatness of Himalaya. So when you love a person, maximum what you can do is, I was telling other day, the biggest gift you can give to the person whom you love is freedom. Generally what happens, if I love you, you must do what I say. Oh, that's not love. That's slavery from any of the side. When love is there, I want that person to be happy. Let me tell a simple, some of you may have heard this, but it is so significant. Naturally, everybody is selfish. As an animal instinct, as any living being, everybody is selfish. Unless you start becoming little spiritual, then only you know what is unselfishness. Otherwise, everybody is selfish. Everybody looks for their own happiness. So I must be happy. What happens to you, I don't care. That is the lowest type of love. And that love can sustain, that love can survive so far as the other person or the other thing or whatever keeps making me happy. Till then my love lasts with them. Because I am selfish, I want to be happy. You will find several thousands and millions of people in this world cannot even think what this L-O-V-E means. And there are different emotions which we consider that as love, but actually it is not. Love is very pure. Love is unselfish. Selfish love is a contradictory term. Love always is unselfish. Then a person grows, become little mindful. I want to be happy, but I want you also to be happy. So you also be happy, I also be happy. That is the next level of love. But you are happy and I am not happy, I can't tolerate that. You be happy, so far as I am happy, I am okay. But the best type of love is, it doesn't matter whether I am happy or not. You must be happy. That is not slavery again. A slave doesn't renounce the beloved. Slave cannot do that. Only master can do. When that comes, and then you will find that state of mind of a person, when he or she thinks that my happiness is not important, happiness of my beloved is important, you immediately start, this is something divine, this is not human. Humans are selfish. when you go, if you become spiritual and you say that I am repeating the name of God, then some godly qualities should come in you. You are thinking about God all the time, no? So some godly qualities will come. Godly qualities is this, that your love is purer. Pure means without selfishness. Swami Vivekananda up to that extent says, unselfishness is God. You don't believe in God, you don't go to temple, mosque, church, anywhere, no pilgrimage, nothing, but you are unselfish. You are spiritual. It doesn't matter whether you go to temple or not. To be unselfish is very much required. So this, you may have heard this story now, there on WhatsApp and all that, a lot of these good stories also float. If you have heard, then I don't repeat. God was suffering headache. Lord Vishnu had a headache. So, suffering. So we have a sage, a rishi called Narada. He has a universal passport. He goes everywhere. So Narada went to Lord Vishnu. He is the greatest devotee of Lord Vishnu. So Vishnu said, I am suffering, do something for me. He said, please order. Whatever you order, I will do. So he said, I have a terrible headache. And there is only one medicine. If you tell me where to get that medicine, I will go and bring. No. You also can give medicine now itself. What is that? You have to, any of my devotee should give the dust which is under his or her feet, and that dust I put on my forehead, then my headache will go. This is difficult for you to maybe understand. Reason being, this is a very typical Hindu religious way, that whom you consider respectful or elder or holy or something, you touch their feet. This is Indian practice. Actually, touching feet is one thing, but if this is the feet, there is a dust below the feet. You don't go and do like this. but this is a step. And that dust they put. That's why you find they do like this. Even you will find some devotees climbing the temple on the steps, they do like this. Because this is a very, very typical Hindu thinking, that this is the steps which goes to temple and the devotees of God are walking on the temple. So this place is, these steps are holy because devotees walk on this. So they touch it and take blessings. So this is their style. Anyway. So Lord Vishnu says, any devotee can offer the dust of their feet and my headache will go. You are the greatest devotee, give me. Narada says, my goodness, I will go to hell if dust of my feet goes to God's forehead. Then let me suffer. You do one thing. So Narada, you go everywhere. At least one devotee you find for me. So he went to all the great sages and monks and renunciates and tapasya doing on Himalayas and every talk the same thing. This is a sin, we cannot do that. Then Narada thought, there are some people who are famous for loving Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu and Krishna is the same. So he goes to Vrindavan and all these Gopas and Gopis, they are all small children who love Krishna as their friend. So when Narada goes there, all the people of Vrindavan became very happy because he must have seen our Lord. So he said, everything is fine, but your Lord is in trouble. He has terrible headache and he wants dust of the feet of any one of the devotees who loves him. all these Gopas and Gopis started dancing everywhere and said, take any dust, I will put my foot and take and smear on the head of our beloved Vishnu. So Narada, you are a fool. You will go to hell. The small young Gopa or a Gopi says to him, what does it matter if I have to suffer in hell? His cure of headache is more important than my going to hell or heaven. This is a story, but which says that if you love someone, it is not easy to love. Loving means you are ready to undergo suffering, discomfort, misery, loss, whatever you want to put, for the sake of your beloved. In human, it is difficult because of our human mind. Not that you cannot achieve, maybe you cannot achieve in that extent, but you may achieve 2%, 3%, 4% in your human relationship. This can be little toned down in your day-to-day life, because when we talk to young, small children and all that, you can't talk to them philosophies. So one secondary school children of one school came and says that, see, they have 6 hours or 8 hours of social work they have to do, and they come and do little gardening. I put a chalk and sign there, let them submit in the school. This is in every school, this rule. But they are interested in finishing these 6 hours. So the teachers were there together. So I told, can I talk to the students for 5 minutes? Okay. I told, you have come to do social service. Which part of the society is nearest to your home? My condominium, my neighbor, this and that. I said, no. Your parents. You come and clean the roads and garden of Ramakrishna Mission. Why can't you sweep and mop your own house? You do not do that help to your parents and you want to help me. Yes, I will sign. But the sense of service, I said, just go. Secondary big boys, 12, 13, 14 years old. Just go and help little to your mother or to your father or to your elder brother, whomsoever they are working at home. And look at their face later on, how much happy they are. That today my child became educated and is trying to help me out. So this has to go. So unselfishness has to be taught here. I don't know who are on Facebook. Sometimes my sister will be there. So when we were young, I was in class 3. That means I was 8 years old. Nobody taught us. No, my parents told me anytime, or us anytime. But we all siblings. I was 8 years, youngest one is 7 years. We 4 siblings, every day we'll be helping mother to wash the kitchen vessels. I was 7 years old, 8 years old. And that helped me so much. And when I was in Argentina or when I'm here, I can clean vessels, no problem at all. Your first duty is to help out to the people who are next to you. Your parents, your brothers, your sisters. But you are utterly selfish. Everything, food finished, you put the plate like this, and your mother or if sometimes maid is there or something, they have to clean. You do yourself and help others to clean. So idea is this, to become unselfish is the goal. So here he says, ya sarvatra anabhisneha. One who is detached from everywhere. If you want to be unselfish, you have to be detached. Love is not attachment. With detachment you can love. Actually, you can love only if you are detached. If you are attached, you consider something else as love. Could be your selfish motive, could be any other emotion. So, detachment makes you stand on your feet to be unselfish, and that unselfishness will bring purity. And when you are unselfish, when you get something, this will be our topic of our next class. Whenever something good or not good, good or bad things happen to you, you will be in an equilibrium position. Or that is, you will be self-poised. Success will not sit in your head, and failure will not sink your heart. You will float. So success and failure, both are there to disturb you. You celebrate success time, but you don't go tangent out of the way that you are successful, then your failure is inevitable. So success should not go to your head. You don't become egoistic by your success. And the failure cannot sink your heart. You can't be depressed because of failure. Failure is a thing that at least you have tried. I remember I went to one place nearby, and one gentleman very seriously came and told me that I always fail in my spiritual life. I am not successful. So to make him, I do little drama, but to make him happy, that's very good. I said, what's good? I fail. I said, those people only fail who put effort. Most of the people don't put effort to fail. So if you are failing, means you are continuously putting effort. And success it has to come one day. Increase your abilities, put your mind, be more dedicated to your cause, and you will be successful. We shall take next. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Namaste.